Cheers.
Cheers, hon. Cheers.
Welcome to our New Year's special, guys.
Welcome.
We thought today we'd spoil you again with another bonus episode where we are aiming to be as raw and as unfiltered as the last one.
Yeah,
No script. Just talk about what we do for New Year's and what trends we follow or don't follow, should I say, and how we celebrate and stuff like that. So it's a very casual, we're gonna see where we get to by the end of it.
But are there any trends that we follow? Do we even know of any trends to follow? I'm wondering. New Year's.
I know one trend, which is to set goals, right? Everybody sets goals, or a lot of people set goals at the beginning of the next year. It's a fresh perspective, and people just, go for what they want to achieve the year that is coming, right? So I think that's a trend.
Yeah, we call them New Year's resolution.
Correct. Yes.
Resolutions.
Yeah. So do you have any New Year's resolutions?
No.
Do you follow the New Year's resolutions trend?
I don't think it's something that suits me. I have plenty of examples where I had set New Year's resolutions or goals on the occasion of January 1st or December 31st, January 1st actually, that I never achieved. Like, for instance, losing weight, giving up smoking. What I have found out works best for me if I really want to start something or quit something is to not set a goal, actually. And it's a paradox because when you have something that's in your line of sight, a vision, a clear goal that you set in theory and in a lot of theories, right? It's really something that helps you achieve that goal. So for the most of, I can understand why it did work for me when setting up a vision, but not necessarily connected to New Year's. So where to start? I gave up smoking without trying to. The more I strived to give it up, that was many, many years ago, the more I failed. So it just happened organically because my partner at the time was non-smoking, and I think my group of friends at the time were non-smokers. So I naturally lost wanting to do it. I lost the need to do it, I think. So that's how I did it. But the more I wanted to or set goals for that, the less I failed. The more I failed, so no. So it's for me, it's not something that worked. What else? Yeah, losing weight. Let's not even go there. But I have this story where I invited a small group of friends. It was a couple and their daughter, right? Back to my place. It was 3 years ago, I think. And we all started this game that was judged by them as being very cringe. And okay, we're just going to do it because we're at your house and you're the host. And, but it's crap, so we'd rather not do it. But just because you like to do it and we like you and you insist, let's do it. So we wrote our New Year's resolution, our top 3 wishes for next year on small pieces of paper. And we read whatever we found. So we drew out of the ball with wishes, and we drew and we tried to guess whose wish is that. It was a fun game eventually. So they give in and they enjoyed the fun. But my point is, that's when I started to really realize that I want to find a new home. I want to buy a new house. And 3 years passed, and I'm still at square one. so, so that never happened. So as you can see, I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions as they don't really work for me. What does work for me is writing what I want to be and what I want to obtain.
Yeah, and before you get into that, I was gonna say, I think even if it didn't maybe work for you, this whole like let's meet up and we all put our top three goals and we draw and then we kind of commit to each other to a certain degree, right? Because we read them out loud and then we need to guess so we know who's who and what the who's wishing what. I think that might work. I think that's actually an interesting game, at least. I don't know how much it might work for other people, but I think it's just a fun game to play. I haven't done that before. I'm also, spoiler alert, not a fan of New Year's goals. I don't set any New Year's goals. I'm more on the if I want to do something, I'm going to do it when I kind of want to do it, if that makes sense, or if when I come up with the idea, so I don't wait for New Year's, Mondays, beginning of the month, things like that to start whatever it is that I'm trying to start or quit, depending on the goal. So I don't necessarily believe in this. I don't necessarily see the reason. Why would you wait for New Year's necessarily? I think that's just sometimes an excuse, almost like, okay, I'm not gonna start now. I'm just gonna wait for the new year to come around, and then I'll be a completely different person, and I'll start, which never happens. So,
Yeah, start where you are.
yeah, exactly, with what you have, and
Yeah.
you'll see where you get to. But I do think it's good to have like ambitious goals. So when you wanted to mention a bit more about writing, and I stopped you, but basically when you set goals, however you do it, right? If you write them and however it is for you, or if you set them at the beginning of the year, I think they need to be ambitious. You need to have some goals that really you feel like are quite challenging. Otherwise, I don't necessarily consider them goals, if that makes sense. It's just more like, okay, I
Uh-huh.
want to do something. Fine, if it's not challenging, if it's not like almost scaring you to a certain degree, I don't know, for me it doesn't feel like it's necessarily a goal.
Okay, interesting. So you have to have something almost unachievable or something that entails a lot of hard work to get to, right?
Almost, it's like it's in between. Okay, it's not impossible, but it's not very possible either.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Okay. There's that saying that yeah, maybe this works for some of us. For others, what sets them in motion, I think, is smaller goals or splitting the big goal into smaller
Yes,
chunks that are
smaller steps.
achievable.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
As they say, how do you put an elephant into a fridge? You cut the elephant into pieces and you fill up the fridge. So tackle the huge goal into smaller, break it into smaller,
That's
more
quite creepy
achievable
though,
goals.
but yeah.
I know, but that's the saying.
Sure.
Yeah, so I understand. I see where you're coming from. So this is something that has turned out to work for you then.
Yeah, to a certain degree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean
Okay.
that I achieve all my goals that I said. But yeah, it has to be a bit of a challenge, as I said, quite a bit of a challenge. And I guess that's something that uh, I just enjoy. And if you guys remember from other episodes, you might know this because yoga kind of style there also is a challenge a bit, the one I'm practicing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know which one, tend to get bored quite easily. So if there's not a challenge or other things to keep me entertained, yeah, I am that person a bit that I need to kind of have a change there or do something or jump from one thing to the other. It's not always the most efficient, but it is what
You
it
know
is.
how New Age philosophy says, hey, be open and you will, if you let yourself vibrate at the same frequency of the thing you want to achieve, then you will attract it towards you effortlessly. How do you feel about that, Alex?
Yeah, I don't
No,
believe in that now.
no,
No, I
no,
don't believe in the law of attraction.
you don't.
No, I don't. I think the law of attraction for me, if you want to put it in my perspective, is like, okay, I want to achieve this thing, right? I set my mind for this, and I'm open to the opportunities. I kind of look around, I focus, okay, I
Okay.
want to achieve this. So I'm going to take the opportunities that, because I focus on that, I might see different opportunities linked to that, and I'm going to take them.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't believe in, oh, I'm just going to say I want to do this, and then magically it will appear. No, I don't believe in that.
I'm not sure what it states, but I think magic is a part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't like, you just set your intention and then it just, what, comes up out of thin air? No, I don't think that.
I think what they say with that is set an intention and unconsciously your actions will set you in the direction of that intention. I think that's what they mean, and not necessarily consciously, but also unconsciously, because that's how it's supposed to work at unconscious level. And on that, I just wanted to say that I think writing your goal in a very succinct and explicit manner connects you more to that goal, connects your intention to your future reality. For me, it has helped. I can't say it was magic, but for me, journaling and writing with a good quality pen that flows on a very good quality paper, it's almost like a meditative act. It helps me focus towards that goal, if you want to call it goal, but yeah, let's call it intention. It's milder, right? I don't wish for big things, and sometimes they're not even wishes, but it helps me get to a specific vibe, a specific energy, and connects me more with the reality of that, with the future reality of that. So I wouldn't dare say that whatever I write becomes reality. Obviously, it's not the case, and guys, it won't happen. But writing for some of us is very therapeutic, I would say.
I think writing is also a way to structure your mind and your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to have it in your head all around. And then when you put pen to paper, you will, even if you do a brain dump or whatever it is, but especially, and journaling can just be a brain dump, right? But
Yeah.
it helps you structure your thoughts more and you put it there and you see them and you read them. And I think it just, structures your thinking as well. So it makes sense. But just coming back to what you were saying with the law of attraction and that, it's subconscious, you just go for whatever that intention was. I think you first need to work with your conscious. Maybe that's my thinking. It's like, okay, I want to achieve this. I'm going to say yes consciously because I keep focusing on that, on to the opportunities that, might be linked to that. And then in return, the subconscious will pick up. Maybe. I don't know. That's kind of how
That's
I
how
would
you see it.
Yeah. I think otherwise, we keep saying to ourselves a lot of things in our heads, right? There's a lot of, I would imagine, thoughts. There's a lot of thoughts we all have every day, right? If you just say it like that and I don't think the subconscious will pick up on one random thought out of the millions you had and say, yeah, that's the intention and I'm going to pursue that. I don't believe in that, to be honest. I think it's just a bit of something you can...
Delulu.
Yeah, woo-woo, a bit.
Woo, a bit woo. Yeah. And in addition to that, I'm not a big believer in new beginnings for New Year's or from January 1st onwards either. Because it honestly feels like just another day where luckily the city is emptier. There's too much people at the mall, probably, so it's the worst idea to visit a mall or to go to watch a movie because throughout the years I have found out that most people have had the same idea as I had. So let's just don't go to the cinema because everybody will be there. But otherwise, it's good to wander around the city if you can put up with some cold, if you live in a cold area. and maybe organize your thoughts a little bit, just do a walking meditation or whatever. So maybe that. But to me, it feels like, apart from that, it feels like just another day. I remember when I turned 18, and a lot of people, including my family, asked, okay, so how do you feel now that you're 18? I was like,
Yeah, you always get that question at random
why?
ages, but
Yeah.
especially like maybe
Yeah,
some,
I don't feel
I don't
it.
know, 18, 20, 30, whatever, right? It's like, how do you feel? Same?
Like yesterday,
Yeah,
but
it's
maybe,
just one more day.
yeah. So, yeah, I have no special ritual, no renewing thoughts or wishes or whatever. Especially because it's kind of off-putting to to notice that whatever I've been wishing has not turned to fruition. Maybe I have not been on the right frequency. I don't know. Or maybe I haven't gotten myself to actually work for it, Maybe
I think
that's
the
why.
latter. I think the latter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think
You're
that might
hurting
be.
me.
No, but I mean, I think studies were done to prove that a lot of New Year's resolutions are, abandoned by the third week of Jan or
Isn't it?
yeah,
What?
first
Like
week
going
of
to the gym, renewing your
yeah,
subscription?
a lot of, but the
Yeah.
gym is one constant one I think that
Yeah.
comes up, and I think it's. And I can't remember now specifically like all the studies and what they quoted there, but I think it's also maybe it's a bit of the pressure, although whenever you set something, there is a pressure, right? Whenever you set a goal. But especially maybe it's like, okay, it's New Year's. I need to have resolutions. Right?
Everybody has
Yeah,
them.
I cannot
Why
live
can't I?
without resolutions. And I would guess that some of these New Year's resolutions were things that you were waiting for the New Year's. It's like going to the gym. Again, I keep coming back to, why don't you just go to the gym today or tomorrow? Why do you need to, the next month, the next year, the next life to do
There's
that,
this
right?
guy on Instagram, and his content is mostly, it revolves around go to the fucking gym. This is his headline, his tagline, his the main point he's making, and he's just trying to tell us.
There's a lot of guys like that on Instagram,
Yeah,
though.
and just,
and I don't think that's wrong, but it's the focus, right, for that person.
He's just making the point you're making. Go to the fucking gym, regardless of how you feel, or
If
whether
it's
it's
Monday
January
or Wednesday.
1st. Yeah.
Or yeah, I know. And the at least from my side, as I said, but the thing is also then you wait for New Year's. Let's say you wanted to go to the gym. Let's pick that classic example for however long, right? And you say, okay, it's New Year's. I'm gonna go to the gym this year, and it's like, what makes you think you're going to be different from 31st when you didn't go, whatever, or 1st of December, whenever you were thinking already, right? And then you have this, okay, I need to set a resolution. I'm going to the gym. This is my resolution. Today is the day. And then you are motivated because I think at the beginning is that newness again, like, okay, this is something, oh, okay, I can do it. And then gradually, 3 weeks time or whatever, I can't remember what was the, like
The
they've
span,
done
the time span.
yeah, until it dropped. But let's say 3 weeks to a month, you're like, okay, well, the newness is off. It becomes challenging because, going to the gym and actually progressing, and it's if
The
you don't,
bubble's bursting, you get disappointed, you slowly draw away from it.
you're not going to be Hulk in a month. You're not going to be Hulk in years going to the gym. So it's not going to be, you have to be patient, like with everything that's good in life, I'd say, or, nothing that is worth it. I don't think is will come to you very, very quickly. So, but anyway,
I agree.
outside of that, and then yeah, you just drop, I guess. It's that pressure, right, combined with the fact that, again, as I said, you're still the same person. So I think outside of setting the goal of going to the gym is like, okay, what is missing for me right now to be able to do this
Right now. Being
Yeah.
the keyword right now.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. What is it that stops me from doing it right now? And I think that's a better way to think about it. And then, yeah, go to the gym then if you realize how that needs to change. But if you just set the goal, I think there's that. It's just a trend, and then not a lot of people, if it's just a trend, it doesn't matter to you necessarily. I think you need to know your why as well. Like, why do you want to do this?
Definitely.
Why is it so important to you? And you really need to dig deep into that why. It's like, why do I want to go to the gym? Because I want to get stronger. Why do I want to get stronger? Because I don't know,
Get to the bottom of it, to the essence of
exactly,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Because I want to, be strong when I'm 70. Why do I want to be strong when I'm 70? So I think, yeah, you really need to dig deep, just in general, overall on goals to follow through. I think if you don't really know your why, it's gonna be hard to remember when inevitably it's gonna be challenging. And
Yeah.
if you don't really know your why and you're focused on that, I think it's you have a great chance of quitting when it becomes challenging. And yeah, it's not new. It's just the grind.
Yeah, this reminds me of a New Year tradition that I have not taken up for quite a few years, but it is actually connected with yoga. A lot of teachers they gather their group at the shala or the people who generally practice with them in private, and they do this 108 sun salutations. Maybe you have that in the UK as well.
I haven't heard of it.
No,
No.
it's
Maybe it is. I just haven't heard of it.
they guide the group through 108 sun salutations, A and B from Ashtanga. The
Why
difference.
108?
Oh, well, it's 108 is a special number in yoga.
Okay. I don't think I know this.
Yeah, we might be needing to do a special episode about it. You find this figure, this number in the yogic tradition in multiple ways. 108 beads in a mala. You know, mala, the prayer beads that you use for japa meditation. And it is everywhere in universe and in nature and divisions of 108. So it's a special number in the science of yoga. So it's supposed to.
So you can see, guys, who's the expert in yoga here. By the way.
Yeah, no, but it's not something to be expert about. It's just something to be curious about, maybe, or it comes to you at some point. It's not the most important part of yoga, obviously.
No, it's just yeah.
It's yoga trivia.
But it's nice. I'm learning something new.
Yeah, it's yoga trivia, and they do well. Okay, 108, whatever, but. It's a lot of sun salutations.
I know. I was gonna
it's
say
a fucking lot.
108. Anything is a lot, but especially sun salutation A and B, which, by the way, it's quite a bit there, right, to go through.
Yeah, some teachers do in Romania do 108 classic Hatha Yoga sun salutations, so not the Ashtanga ones. But anyway, they're still.
But there's like how many poses in
12, I think. In one sun salutation. I'm not sure.
So you do 24 poses times 108?
Yeah.
So how long does that take you?
I've only did it once. I can't remember. I did it in open air in front of that's not very far from here, actually, in front of the Academia Militară on the hill in Cotroceni, if you know that area. The practice was led by Ioana Hudiță, one of my favorite yoga teachers in Romania. She's amazing. It's due to her that I wanted to put myself through this. Okay. I have a quitter's mentality, so I was sure that I would probably give up after 10 or something, or whatever. But that's why I'm telling this story. The group energy and her leading us through them, it was amazing. It was also, I was not in my best shape. She called us there very early in the morning.
To have time to finish.
Yeah, it was also a work day for me from 6 a.m. to whenever I started my working day. It was quite difficult, but that's what I'm trying to say. I had never imagined I would be able to go through everything, but I did. And the fantastic thing is that at the end I didn't feel tired, but rather energized.
Yes, sun salutations do that to you, but maybe not that many. But how long did it take you? Do you remember?
No. 2.5 hours, 2 hours 15. I don't know, which
That's
is
not that long for that many.
You don't stop. You just, you can take a break.
Yeah.
But the teacher is making the group go through all of them uninterruptedly. So, you can take breaks if you want. But yeah, it's however much 108 take I don't know what to tell you. And I've seen on Facebook and everywhere on social media, people still do that. They still organize 108 sun salutations event at their studio, regardless of the occasion. For instance, some do it on the summer solstice, on the International Day of Yoga, June 21st or whatever. But yeah, some of them do it on January 1st or 2nd or, yeah. So there you go, yogic tradition.
So, yeah. So, January 1st, 6 a.m.
No, I don't think it was January 1st back when I
Okay.
was it? I think it was during the summer. Wait, hold on. Was it summer? Because we were outside, right? Yeah, we couldn't have been
So
outside in January.
basically, you come out of the club and go and do sun salutations, right? If it's I don't
Yeah,
know, or
some of us could probably. Yeah, I don't think you would. You'd probably have to have a quiet New Year's Eve back at home, kicking back with a bit of a
go to
Netflix and
sleep
children. Yeah.
at 9, so you can wake up the next day at 6 to practice the sun salutations.
Well, it's a New Year's tradition. Yeah, I don't know, but as I said, not only so the event that I participated at could not have been on New Year's because it was outside, right? It was outdoors. It was outdoors, excuse me. So for sure not that, but yeah, they do it for New Year's. Um, when I remember it each time is because that's why I'm telling the story in the first place. It's nice to witness the power, the amazing power that yoga has by yourself. Yeah, because I never would have imagined I could go through all of that, but I did, and it didn't feel exhausting.
But it's also the union and the community, right? As you said, there were other people there, and it's just you feed off that energy, and
I love group classes. I love them. Yeah.
So, were there a lot of people? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a big event. Yeah, that's how I remember it. Generally, a lot of people come to yoga to Yana's events. Yes.
And they all made it to the end?
Well, I don't really
Yeah,
look
you were
around, but
focusing on your
yeah,
stuff, which
but
you should, yeah.
yeah, but I did notice people taking breaks, which is normal.
Yeah, yeah,
Recomposing yourself in child's pose or
yeah.
yeah.
I think that's an insane achievement. I don't know if I could do that. I can't even do the math of how many poses that means, let alone actually do them. Because in one flow, with or
One
without
uninterrupted
breaks,
flow.
yeah, one uninterrupted flow. It's just like, yeah, don't you just? How many times can you do the same thing until you're like, I'm done?
I think it's nice to see. I think I went there in the first place to prove myself that I
Yeah.
could maybe do it, put myself into that situation and
Yeah,
test
yeah.
myself, but I didn't really believe I could do it. But it's not something that I would necessarily do again.
But it is a challenge. It is for sure a challenge. And it's not only
Definitely.
the challenge of just doing the movement, it's the challenge, I think, for me, at least for the brain, to be like, okay, I'm doing this for so many times, the same thing, and I'm
Yeah.
going to stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The grind. Stick to the grind.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not. It's not getting on my nerves. I'm focusing. I'm pulling through it, pushing
Stick to
through
the boring stuff.
it. 108.
Yeah. So that's a great achievement. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
For yoga,
Yeah.
especially.
But no, yeah. Apart from that, I don't think there are practices in yoga, of course, of detoxifying your body and your mind, of renewing yourself, or actual poses that rejuvenate your body, so like inversions or something. But if you want to create a special sequence for a yoga class that you can teach or practice around New Year's Eve, yeah, for sure you should focus on that kind of benefits, on the kind of postures that bring you those benefits. But yeah, this is just to make it nice, but they should be part of your yoga practice anyway. Inversions and rejuvenation poses. So that's kind of where my my yoga rituals lie around New Year's Eve.
So you have a ritual. I don't have any rituals necessarily. I usually actually like to start a challenge the beginning of Jan. So I was conditioned a long time ago when I started doing yoga, and I started with yoga with Adrian, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard of that are interested in yoga. And she has this yearly January challenges that are like a month everyday yoga practice.
Okay.
And it's usually centered around a theme. So there's an overall theme for the challenge. And then you have each practice for each day has its own theme as well. So it could be like, half an hour more or less of a flow that you do each day for 30 days in Jan. And she's been doing this for a while now, every year. And yeah, I always do that with her. So because I started with her, and yeah, it's just a nice thing. And I guess that's my New Year's sort of ritual.
Yeah.
Yoga
Admit it.
ritual.
Admit it. You have one. You have one already. Keep it up. It's nice.
I didn't realize it until now, but it is, yeah, and it's nice. It's a new thing, right? And there's always every day you as I said, have a theme and go through something else maybe. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I recommend it, especially for beginners. I think just Yoga with Adrian in general is a very good beginner friendly yoga
Yeah.
channel.
Everyone has heard of it, so
Yeah.
it's the go-to YouTube channel for beginners. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, coming back to me, when I started doing yoga and I found her and I started with her, and then at some point later on, I expanded to other teachers, and I realized just how important it was to start with her, because I learned a lot of things that from the other teachers, they're not so geared to beginners that you can kind of practice, without researching what the hell they're saying, what's going on. So yeah, she's really good on that. So that's my, I guess, New Year's ritual now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I think that kind of wraps up our episode today for New Year. Did you want to say anything else, Monica?
Yes, I wanted to wish everyone a happy New Year's Eve. Have a great party, whatever your version of party you might have. It should be fine. And if you want to start something, to set up a new goal, to take on a new habit, a positive new habit, don't wait for New Year's. Just start with who you are whenever you think you're ready. Just start.
Well, I would actually challenge that a bit. Whenever
Oh.
you think you're ready, might never be. Yeah, we're,
We're
never,
never
ready.
ready.
We're never ready.
Yeah.
So maybe just aim to start today with what you have and aim to improve.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's
No
probably
need to wait for New Year's.
yeah. Yep.
Start where you are, and
Yep.
good luck.
Yeah, so happy New Year, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.